Yeah, through the influence of Hollywood, I think Mad Men's been a major factor in terms of returning to classics, which I'm loving at the moment. Really strong partings, and it's enabled us to kind of really utilise something that was so amazing back then into today's fashion.
I think it's something that is definitely growing, and it's because men are becoming more aware of fashion. Where I live, things are a lot more casual, a lot more laid back, not as interesting as Melbourne on some levels, but the boys at home are definitely embracing their hair grooming, their facial grooming, facial hair and different moods for that.
Certainly have. It's not just the domain of male models and bodybuilders anymore. It's average guys getting out there just trying to feel good about themselves and take it to that next level, whereas it always used to be the women's side. It's now turning into a lot more of a male thing. So yes, we have.
Yeah, through the influence of Hollywood, I think Mad Men's been a major factor in terms of returning to classics, which I'm loving at the moment. Really short sides, the fades back, really strong partings, and it's enabled us to kind of really utilise something that was so amazing back then into today's fashion. I love facial hair and I love the contrast. I love the boy sporting the big beard and the short sides. The parting, and at the same time, even for some guy that's got cropped hair, to have a little bit of growth, I think it gives it a bit more of a worn feeling. Love it.
So the one thing I've probably noticed more importantly with men's manscaping or grooming is the eyebrows. We're seeing a lot of men come in where their wives have maybe helped them out a little with their brows, but they're giving them a feminine shape to their brows. See, I like to keep a man nice and square and full. We use clippers and tweezers and everything, but men's brows need to be coarse and manly. They don't need to be fine and tapered, depending on the type of man you are also. But the one thing I do get a lot of requests for is the removal of nose hair. A small wax stick up the nose, one at a time please. We don't want anybody to choke on the chair. Just to remove those hairs. Nobody really likes hair hanging out their nose.
So the perfect daily regime for boys, I guess, would be a cleanser, a moisturiser, and a product that for hair to get it polished, whether it's doing a strong parting, putting texture into hair, but something definitely not too greasy.
Look, I think with daily men's regimes, absolute must-have is a moisturiser. So even if a man does not wear or use a cleanser, he needs to use that moisture in his face, because even though the skin is a lot more texturised, a lot thicker, you guys, you don't need makeup. Kudos to you, but it's because women's skins are finer and show flaws faster, whereas if a man uses a moisturiser, he just gives that subtlety. I also think a little chapstick goes a long way. Kissy lips, we like a bit of kissy lip.
Well, I think the number one benefit is obviously the health benefits. With the increase of melanoma on the rise at the moment, it's just so important not to be going out in the sun and baking ourselves like we used to. The other thing we find that guys like is it really gives that definition to their muscles and the muscle tone, and what guy kind of wouldn't want that, I suppose. We also find that it just helps generally with their self-confidence. People just like to feel good, have that lovely glow about their skin and their face, like they've just been on holiday. I think there's many benefits of spray tanning, and it's becoming more and more popular. Products that have natural botanicals helps maintain the skin for longer without having all the nasty chemicals in there. We also can recommend that people sometimes can use a self-tanning tan builder, which will prolong it and make it more of a depth of colour as well.
As you know yourself, when you're more tan, you feel more confident, so it makes you happy. You don't want to be pale, you want to look good and like summer, so yeah, I like it, I really like it.
Interestingly enough, we were talking about this last night, a group of girlfriends and I, and we actually thought that the arms were the most attractive part of a man's body. I think it's an eye thing. It's something about a twinkle in their eye, or something about the way they look at you is definitely an attractive feature. Well, it's a bit cliche, but possibly the old sense of humour works well for me.